Nationalism is a staple of human life. Regardless of where you are on this planet, people are proud of where they are from, and it makes them who they are because of it. Across the globe, people make it aware of who they are and express that identity through the place that they call home. Time and time again, however, nations have fought for power and land over one another and have tried to strip away the identity that some associate themselves with and have associated themselves with for generations. This has happened with the nation of Ireland, who has had conflict with the United Kingdom over the rights for Northern Ireland. People of United Kingdom, who as Northern Ireland is part of their nation, believe the country is rightfully theirs, while Ireland believes that they deserve Northern Ireland and for it to come back and unify with the other counties of Ireland. In Northern Ireland, there has been a schism between Irish Protestants who associate themselves with Britain and claim to be part of the United Kingdom, and Irish Catholics who believe that they should return to be a part of Ireland. Known as the Troubles and the Northern Ireland conflict, this dispute lasted for 30 years, during which 3,600 people were killed and over 50,000 were maimed or injured. During this 30-year conflict, tensions between the Irish Catholics and the Irish Protestants rose to high levels. Because of this, many people began to form and join paramilitaries. Protestant Loyalists joined the Ulster Volunteer Force and Ulster Defence Association, while Catholic Nationalists joined the Provisional Irish Republican Army and the Irish National Liberation Army. During the time of the Troubles, these two sides fought against each other, with multiple bombings and shootings taking place throughout Ireland, Northern Ireland, and the rest of Britain, hurting civilians as well as people in these paramilitaries. Almost 10,000 bombings took place in the 30-year span, happening in many major cities including Dublin, Ireland, and Belfast, Northern Ireland. Many of these freedom fighters were arrested and sent to jail, where they endured many hardships in the Northern Ireland prisons. It was within these walls that many fighters of the cause continued to fight for justice through protests. At HM Prison Maze, located about 30 minutes from Belfast, Northern Ireland, some prisoners that were part of the IRA and INLA began blanket protests and hunger strikes. In 1981, 10 Irish Republican nationalists died from starving themselves from these hunger strikes. Through peaceful civil protests and situations that resorted to violence, the conflict in Northern Ireland affected many people and seemed like there would be no end to it. It wasn't until April 10, 1998 that the two sides came together in what is now known as the Good Friday Agreement, which recognized Northern Ireland as a part of Great Britain and mutual respect among all parties involved. After 30 years of constant conflict, the Troubles were finally considered to be done. While time has helped heal the conflict between Irish Catholic Nationalists and Irish Protestant Loyalists, there still is tension between the two despite efforts to deter any conflict. The conflict was considered over in 1998, but today the people of Northern Ireland can still see the conflict and its effects. My dear friend Micháel O'Hare is a native of Northern Ireland, having lived there his whole life. While the Troubles ended when he was a young lad, he still saw the effects it left on the people of Northern Ireland and can still see it at this very day.
I'm Micháel O'Hare, I'm 22 and I'm from County Down, Northern Ireland. So I'm going to speak to you about how, if there is, or if not, if there's any conflict within Northern Ireland between Catholic Irish nationalists and Protestant Irish nationalists. Where I'm from, County Down, it's a border county to the Republic of Ireland, so as opposed to the likes of Belfast, we don't see, or never really did see, much conflict even at the height of the Troubles. The worst we might have seen actually was 18 British soldiers were blown up on the way to barracks in the 80s, and that was the only real issue we ever had. In Belfast, it was 10 times worse. There would have been bombs every other week, and the Troubles really came from the unfair allocation of housing to the minority Catholics over the Protestants. So if you were a family with 5 children, and as opposed to a single parent Protestant with 1 child, you would get the house over the other Catholic family. So that's really where the whole problem came from. In terms of other conflicts, the Northern Irish Troubles, there was only 3,000 deaths over a 30-year period. And if you compare that to the current Syrian conflict, there's been over 400,000 deaths. in the last 6 years. So in that, if you put it in that context, it's not as bad. But in terms of population size, we are a lot smaller country than Syria. Today there is still issues, especially where I go to university. I go to university in the Falls Road, which would be renowned all over Ireland for being high density Catholic, would still have Republican views. There would still be murals of soldiers, and actually the street I go to university is called Broadway Street, but on the actual sign it's scribbled out and it's called RPG Avenue. It was the first time the British soldiers got attacked by the IRA, and they used an RPG for the first time. So that's just a wee example. Today there is still conflict as the tables are sort of turning. The Irish nationalists are getting more votes. They're not the minority anymore. There is certain things happening. For example, the City Hall aren't allowed to display the British flag in Belfast anymore because a vote was passed that it only allowed to be flown on certain days, and so that created real tension and conflict within Belfast. There was riots. The riot bands have brought out bomb squads, stuff like that. They're all kicked off. And to this day, there's still a 24/7 protest from 2012 still continuing inside Belfast. It all comes from the identity. The Protestants feel like their identity is being tarnished and they're feeling intimidated. So a lot of the trouble that is occurring now is from Protestants towards Catholics. It's not as intense. There's no guns or no killings from their side, but it's still, conflict is seen within Belfast all the time. It's a segregated society, Northern Ireland still. You don't see much communication between the two communities, although they're trying. There's been more peace walls erected in Belfast since the Troubles than during. So peace walls are put in place in between housing estates and communities to stop throwing missiles into other estates. It's just they're that high you can't throw anything in. There's still the odd minority Irish Republican groups that do kill policemen or set pipe bombs on the sides of roads, but it's normally found out or stopped before anything happens. When it comes to bombs, police officers still do get killed though at the same time. So as I said, it's very intimidating for the Unionist population or the Loyalist population, since government has changed and it's slowly starting to sway in the Catholics' favour. But as I say, the conflict is still there. In my time, I wouldn't see it because of where I'm from, obviously County Down, but I still do remember you would have seen the British soldiers on patrol about our street.
With the Troubles ending nearly 20 years ago, there is still conflict between the two sides that can be seen today. Currently in Belfast, Northern Ireland, along with several other major cities, there are peace lines throughout the city. These peace lines are 16-foot walls created during the Troubles that separate the Irish and Protestant neighborhoods. They are still up and segregating the communities to this day. These walls were implemented to stop street violence between the two groups, and as of 2017, there are many walls. However, there have been moves to get rid of these walls, and by 2023, Northern Ireland plans to get rid of all peace walls in hopes of getting rid of the segregated communities and hoping for a brighter and more unified future. The Troubles involving Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland was an unfortunate conflict that took the lives of many and harmed the lives of many others. Still seen today, the conflicts have simmered down from car bombings and shootings, but the tension is still at the people from each side of the conflict. While there has been steps to diminish the past and take steps towards a brighter future, there are still signs of tension that resonate within the Irish people. On both sides, only time will tell when the tension will truly end, but taking the right steps towards a brighter future will help immensely.